I believe that the Olympics represents women in a good way and as well as in a bad way. And for my first point, for it in a good way, I believe that it represents women in a positive aspect. Like it promotes, it allows women to feel empowered, as well as promotes equality between men and women in sport. As well as in a bad way, I believe that sometimes in the media of the Olympics, they portray women in a very negative way, as well as hypersexualizes their bodies, such as Maria Sharapova and many other athletes, in which we've seen throughout, like the presentations that we've seen before and how they talked about it as well.
So as far as the Olympics go, I think women are represented in a very bad way because most of the female athletes are used as eye candy in terms of their dressing, in terms of the sports they play, and the amount of media attention they get is very, very less compared to what like male athletes get. I think it's around 1 minute per every female event that's portrayed on television. There's 2 minutes of male action portrayed, and even when female athletes are portrayed in like Olympic events, they're portrayed fixing their clothes, tying their hair, or walking around talking to other females, while male athletes are portrayed sweating, exercising, or like checking out the track before they start. So I think that's like sheer sexism on the Olympic front.
I think that the Olympics represent women in a sort of good way because it gives hope to young females in sports, and it empowers them.
Yeah, I think the Olympics represent women in a good way because it helps females all across the globe do whatever they want with freedom.
The advantages of women playing sports essentially is it empowers young girls to also aspire and reach out for their goals, as well as it promotes physical activity and being active, as well as being a minority, which is being a girl. You feel like there's barriers restricting you from entering into the sports field. However, we see that these female athletes are breaking down these barriers, allowing for these young girls to achieve and reach out for their dreams.
I think there are many advantages to having women in the Olympics and really just playing sports in general. I think it helps with team building. I think it helps with confidence. I think that sports are a lot of fun. And as a biology teacher, I know the importance of reducing stress. And we know that exercise is a huge way to reduce stress. So I think having and encouraging girls to play as many sports as possible is a great thing.
Some advantages of women joining the Olympics is that it motivates other women to join in sports and also join in the Olympics, and also it represents a sense of equality.
I think that dope-free athletes should be supported throughout the games because they're playing fair.
I think that dope-free athletes should be supported and cheered throughout the whole games.
To me, an athlete who didn't dope is like a god.
Yeah, because the athlete put in a lot of effort and training, whereas the other athlete who doped, he just put in some steroids and off he went.
I think that a well-trained dope-free athlete will feel betrayed.
I think the athlete would feel like he wasted his time training for the sport his entire life.
They probably feel betrayed and sad because if they see other people who are not dope free and they see like they're being cheered on and stuff like that, would be really sad and devastating for them.
He'd probably feel cheated because, well, he did his best to train and he put in a lot of effort, and all of a sudden no one's supporting him, whereas they're all supporting a guy that just like, you know.
I do believe that people should take the Olympics seriously. However, these institutions need to take the sport seriously in a sense that they need to provide the resources for their athletes, as well as tackle this doping issue head on. This will eliminate the sense of like the Olympics are being unfair as well as unfit. I believe that if this doping scandal is eliminated or is taken seriously, I believe that the Olympics will be seen as corrupt. So yes, they should be taking it seriously. However, we don't see that.
As far as the Olympics goes, I think people should be aware that doping does happen, and many athletes that participate resort to other means. But at the same time, I think they should strive above it and work out means to make them a clean and equality-based organization and allow them to occur, because a lot of people, especially athletes and coaches, spend a lot of their time and dedication towards one Olympic event every 4 years. So if we were going to corner them off as being a doped event and not watch them or not support them, it's going to be a big negative impact on the athletes and the coaches. But at the same time, doping is not okay, as far as my personal opinion, and we need to take measures to stop it. But I still think we should encourage the Olympics and the athletes that participate in them.
Obviously, the Olympics should be taken seriously because the entire world is coming together as one.
Yeah, they should, because well, people that are doping at the moment, they're getting caught and there's a lot of penalties, so yeah.
I think the Olympics represent women in a good way. Bro, he smiled, bro. It's not my fault. I'm about to